There is one thing you are going to do after trying this chin chin recipe. You are going to say thank you, Sisiladi, because what? This chin chin is crunchy, it's delicious, and it's also super dope. So guys, let me show you how I made it. Hi guys, so welcome back, and let me show you guys how I made my super crunchy, super delicious chin chin. That is a perfect snack for your toddlers, for your kids, for yourself, the family, and of course you also know that you can also turn this to a source of income and make extra money by the side. So without talking too much, let's just go right into action. I used 1 kg of flour or whatever it is you call it, and then we go ahead to sift it just to make sure that our chin chin comes out fluffy. The next ingredient we added into this our dry mixture is sugar, and this is about 200 grams of sugar, which is about 1 cup. Okay, and then the next ingredient is nutmeg. This is a sachet of nutmeg, which has about 2 teaspoons of nutmeg powder. You can also make use of a whole nutmeg in the raw form. Then this is 1 teaspoon of salt, and then we are also going to add in our baking powder, which is also about 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So after this, the next ingredient we are going to be adding is going to be our milk, and then I went in with about 2 sachets of pig powdered milk. You can use any milk of choice, of course. So when we've gotten all our dried ingredients together, the only thing left is for us to mix this up, to just make sure that all the ingredients marries each other very well. And then the next thing we are going to add in butter. This is about 200 grams of margarine. I used margarine, not butter, sorry. And you can also make use of your normal unsalted butters, but those are quite expensive. So if you're on the budget side just like me, you can just go ahead with your margarine. But if you're a big spender, just go ahead with your butter. So after adding in your butter, you're just going to mix it together with the flour until you get a crumb-like texture, just like I did. And then the next thing we're going to do is to add in water bit by bit. All the water I used for this is just 2 cups, which is 500 ml of water. So you just add in gradually, and then you continue to just knead. Chin chin doesn't need too much kneading, but you just need to knead it to get all the ingredients to marry each other. Okay, so once you've kneaded it for a little while, you just need to leave it to sit to activate the gluten for about 10 to 15 minutes. So that is just what I did right here. I'm done mixing, I'm done kneading my chin chin mix, and then I covered it. This is 15 minutes later, so I divided my dough into 2, as I cannot work with everything at once. So the other portion, I kept it somewhere and then I covered it so that it doesn't dry out. Okay, so I dust my work surface, and then I proceeded to roll out this dough until it became flat, not too thin and also not too thick. So we'll just proceed to roll out the dough till it is flat but not so flat, and also not thick, because you want what? We want a crunchy chin chin. So after we've rolled this out till our desired thickness, you're going to get out your cutting utensil. As for me, I'm going to it with a knife because I don't have a cutter, but trust me, knife makes the work very slow. So if you have a cutter, it's going to be more faster, and it's going to be more easier, because you see this knife, so I had to just use what I had at home. All I only did was I just added flour to the surface of the knife to just make it easier, even though it was still a bit difficult. So this is a normal, regular, everyday chin chin style that everyone knows. You cut it into the square shape like this, and you have your square shaped chin chin. So after getting that out, we're just going to set this aside, and then we're going to proceed to making another shape for our chin chin. So let's go. For the second shape of our chin chin, after rolling out our dough and cutting out the edges, we are just going to go ahead to cut our dough like this. I don't know the shape to call it, but you guys can see what this is like. Okay, so now after we've already gotten this shape out, we are going to get out our vegetable cutter. I want to believe every house has this particular vegetable cutter, so we're just going to use this to just get a very cute shape that's just to make something different. Okay, so even after getting this shape, I just thought, like, why can't I still cut it into two again? So I just had to, like, let me just cut it into two and see if I can get another more beautiful shape. And it was cute. It came out lovely, as you guys can see it. So that's just it, and this is what we are doing with shape number 2. So let's go ahead to finish cutting this. For shape number 3, it's not quite difficult. As a matter of fact, to me, it's the easiest. So you just need to do is just cut your dough into any size that you want. If you want it to be long, you cut it long. If you want it to be short, you cut it short. So this particular one, we're actually doing the longer size. So we just cut it like this, and that is just it. And I also went ahead to do a very shorter version, in which I cut the dough into the way I cut the size number 2. Then I just cut it to just give me a shorter version of this dough. So when all of our chin chin is ready, we are going to proceed to the kitchen, and we are going to put our oil on the fire. Then one thing is, your oil shouldn't be too hot, so I test run with number 1, number 2, and number 3 chin chin. And when I saw that it was hot enough, then I proceeded to add in my chin chin, and then I decided to fry. So you don't need to be scared if you think they are going together. By the time they all get into the hot oil, they are going to divide by themselves. So we're just going to proceed to fry our chin chin, and we just stir at intervals to make sure that it gets cooked all round, and that is just it. So by the time it starts getting brown, you know that it's your time to remove it, and you have to reduce the flame so that it doesn't get burnt. Okay, now when it's time for you to fry the second batch or your subsequent batches, remember that your oil is very hot already. So before you put in the second batch of your dough, you need to reduce the flame to the barest minimum. If not, if you put in your new batch into the hot oil, it's going to fry quickly, but it is not going to fry inside. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's just going to fry on the surface, but it's not going to fry very well inside. So when your chin chin is brown like this, reduce the flame, take it out, and with the reduced flame, add in your second batch. Now when your second batch is frying already, then you can start increasing the flame bit by bit so that it also doesn't soak oil. So this particular one just have to be, just use your IQ to just know when to reduce and know when to increase the flame. And also, when you want to make your own chin chin, you can actually double, triple, or divide my quantity to get your desired quantity. Like if you want to make a larger batch, you can just double. Like I used 1 kg of flour, you can decide to use 2 kg of flour. Then every other ingredients that I used, you just need to double. So for example, I used 200 grams of sugar, you just use 400 grams of sugar. And if you want to make a reduced portion, maybe you want to do 500 grams, you just need to divide all the quantities of ingredients that I used to just get your own perfect recipe. And that is just it. This is all our chin chin, and make sure that it gets cool completely before you actually put it into your jar. And that's just it. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a meaningful comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.